Storm, your face.
What?
You look like you were mean mugging. Okay.
Oh,
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Three Siblings Walk Into a Bar. I'm Deshae, the oldest sibling.
I'm Sage, the middle sibling.
and I'm Storm, the youngest sibling.
Boop, 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 boop.
Can't wear that.
Nope, don't do that one.
What?
Oh my god. Never mind. I was looking at the picture that they picked for our YouTube the other day. Have you guys seen it yet?
Uh-huh.
Mm-mm.
No.
Dude, I swear
Is it
they're
bad?
like they're going through every frame and like picking one. So like last week Storm was making a funny face, and this week I'm making a funny face. So I'm gonna see like which one they pick this week to see if what they're doing to us, because we're making some weird ass faces. I guess we should just start like learning how to do that ourselves.
Well, I know we can. You just put a thumbnail in there, so we just need to pick what kind of picture we want to upload.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's just funny that they're like singling us out every time.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like they can't find one where we all look bad at the same time, so they just pick
Right.
one.
The most flattering pictures they can find.
Yeah, it's not good. It's pretty bad.
Mm-mm. Mhm.
Yeah, I never look
Okay.
flattering in these. I don't ever do my makeup or
Mm-mm.
anything.
Mm-mm.
It's also
So-
like the angle of my camera and everything. Like it's not. I'm not trying to look cute. This is not
It's not ideal.
happening.
Yeah.
No. Sometimes I set my computer on like our case of water or whatever, so I get
Yeah.
like a little better of an angle, but
Yeah.
it's not the case at the moment.
No, mine's just on my bedside table. I'm sitting in bed right now. This is
Yeah, so am I. I get kicked out of the computer room, so I'm like, guess I'll sit on the bed.
Yeah,
Uh,
the family of gamers, you're gonna get kicked out of somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told them that they needed to move the dog crate out of my bedroom and put my desk in here.
Mm.
And they
Yeah.
were like, what? Why? Like, getting all butthurt about it. And I was like, because I literally can't use this room. I'm like, either one, y'all won't leave so I can record, or two,
Yeah.
y'all are in here screaming so I can't do work. So
Yeah,
either way, I
exactly.
can't use this
Yeah.
room.
Respect my authority, children.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh.
It's like, look, this is what's happening.
Yeah,
Deal with it.
Hmm.
just another thing about having kids that I don't ever really think about, but I know that's just another reason why I couldn't do it.
I know, it's exhausting.
Very much so.
Yeah, I like y'all's
Very
kids. That's about
much
it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
I
so.
It's
That's
okay.
about
I'm
it.
on that too. I'm like, there's a very select few kids that I can
Yeah,
deal with, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that, I'm done. I'm tapped.
exactly. Yeah.
And I
There's
don't
really-
even think it's entirely like the kids that I don't like. It's just that like everybody parents differently, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's hard to be a certain kind of parent around somebody else's kids that don't parent the same way.
Yes. Yeah.
So it just gets weird.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a family that came into the shop, and they gave their kid an iPad and didn't give her any headphones or anything, but she was listening to it so loud. And we were like trying to think of the nicest way to tell her to like turn it down, basically. And
Yeah.
basically we just like didn't say anything. One of us like kind of looked at the mom, and I think the mom kind of like realized that it was too loud, because parents, when they're around that all the time, they tune it out, so they don't think about it. But then when they're in
Mhm.
public, like other people are starting to hear it now. It's wild to me.
Yeah. I'm really good at blocking out noises.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like
Kinda
I've always
have to
been
be.
that way, because even when I was little, I would like scream but when I was watching the TV. Like,
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah.
so I feel like I've always been that way. It's just it's a
Yeah.
form of dissociation.
Right.
It's how I escape.
I feel like I feel like we were always kind of quiet kids. Like we were
Yeah.
never really like super rambunctious or anything, I guess.
Yeah, like we had our moments, but it wasn't
Right.
like I feel like I'm consistently telling the kids to stop screaming or stop hitting
Right.
each other or stop
Yeah.
wrestling or please, if you want to do that, go in your room. But if you break your TV, I'm not buying you a new one. Like,
Oh, I was breaking
kinda-
shit constantly. Yeah. But we weren't like super loud, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
It's weird to think about.
Maybe
Yeah.
we don't remember it as being loud, but I'm sure
Exactly.
mom and dad
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
tell a different story.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone will
We're
say
very much
differently.
to what are they calling it on TikTok? The like room kids.
Yes.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we were pretty quiet
Yeah.
for the most part.
Up to nefarious things in our bedroom all the time.
Mm-hmm. Writing contracts.
Oh my god. The cleaning contracts. Yes.
Yeah.
I have to. Okay, I'm sure we've told this story before, but Storm and I, like when we would have to clean our rooms, like when we would have to clean them when they got really bad, we would always try and help each other, but one of us would help the other one, and then we wouldn't want to do the other. So basically, nothing ever really got done. So at a certain point, Storm and I would say, "Okay, I'm going to sit down and write down this contract. Like, I am going to help you clean your room, but you have to help me clean my room." We would sign it. Storm and I got into fights constantly when we were kids about shit like that. So there has to be someone else out there that like wrote contracts with their sibling or something. Like, someone has to have a similar story to that.
There's a story that I
I'm
always
sure.
remember. I don't know why, but it always comes in my brain. It was when we used to walk home from school, like
Yeah.
elementary school, and it was like fall.
Makes me sound like such an asshole.
And there was leaves on the ground, and I kept stepping on the leaves because I liked the noise of the leaves. And then you were like, you're killing them. That
Yep.
those are alive, and you're killing them. And I was like, what? They're not alive. They're on the ground. They're already dead. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, those are alive, and you're killing them. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why that pops in my head every so often. I'm like, you remember when I thought I was killing leaves? Yeah.
Yes, it's literally trauma.
Mhm.
It was either like the misophonia, like it was either the sound of it, or because I was that annoying like vegetarian kid, even though I was a vegetarian. So I was that like PETA kid that would like
Yeah.
blame everything on
Yeah.
the meat industry and stuff. So it's possible. I have no idea. I don't remember that, but it does not surprise me that I said that.
Yeah.
hmm
It's okay. It doesn't bug me. I don't know why. Out of all the fights that we have, that was the one that stuck in my
Exactly.
brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really probably can't remember any other ones. I do remember one time I had a fish tank in my room, and I was feeding the
Mhm.
fish, and I put my finger in it, and the fish tried to eat my finger, and I thought it was so funny, and I had to like run into Shay's room, and she was on the phone. She was like, "What?" And I was like, "The fish just tried to eat my finger." And she was like, "Okay."
Do you remember when you had the snake and Meemaw was over at our house and the snake
Yes.
got out?
Yes.
And we had to hide it from Meemaw that the snake was out, but we were all trying to find it at the same
Yes. It
time.
was like, everybody look, but do not tell me, Mom.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
You would have thought that she had to know something was going on with like
Yes.
the entire family just like walking around looking under random crap and stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. She's like, I just learned
God.
not to ask questions anymore.
yeah, she doesn't want to know.
I still can't believe we had snakes.
Mm-mm.
Have you guys seen what's the name of it? This Is Us on Netflix.
hmm
It sounds like a horror movie, but it's not at all.
Oh, yeah.
This
I
Is
mean,
Us.
I've seen one episode.
It has Mandy
Like the
Moore in
show?
it. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't
It's-
stop
it's-
watching it. I'm obsessed with it.
It's
I
sad.
refuse.
It's
It is
Yeah.
very sad.
yeah. I
I
haven't seen
love
the
it.
whole thing because I couldn't get through it.
I
just
literally
finished
watched
season 1.
one episode because it happened to come on after the Super Bowl one Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it was the one with the crock pot. I guess I'm not going to give it away because I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen it.
I don't know
But
anything
the
about that
crock
yet.
pot episode is, of course, the first and only episode I ever watched, and then I refused to ever watch it again because
Yeah.
I cried
Yeah.
for the entire episode straight. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even know these characters.
Yeah.
What's going on? But, oh my god.
I think I don't know why I like it so much. My mentors got me to start watching it, and the other day they were like, "Well, how do you like it?" And I was like, "I'm obsessed with it, but I hate you guys because this is
Yes.
like super sad, but I love it."
Yes.
They were like, "Who's your favorite character?" So there's one character on there that has like severe panic attacks, and he has panic attacks that like will make him go blind. And I was like, it's Randall actually, and they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, we're very similar. My mentor was like, yeah, you are, and I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's rude.
yeah, just because
Yeah.
you both have panic disorders doesn't mean anything. Yeah, and then one of the brothers, they're triplets, so like one of the brothers is the middle kid. Like he's not actually the middle kid, but he's the actor and like he's the middle kid, and so it's weird to watch all of this stuff and like see the dynamic of other families and stuff. It's so wild.
It's
I hate
crazy.
it.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Everyone like there's someone dying or has died in like every episode that you learn so much. I also love Mandy Moore. So
Me too.
She's
So
sweet.
She plays Rapunzel.
I just watched that yesterday because a girl was getting a Tangled tattoo, and so we watched it at the shop. I didn't realize it until we watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
She
love
doesn't
her.
age either at all.
She's beautiful.
It literally looks like she was plucked out of A Walk to Remember and placed into the show. Like it's
Don't bring up
really
that
weird.
movie either.
Oh,
That movie
yes.
makes me
That
cry,
movie.
too.
No.
I think that was on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, I want to watch it," and then I was like, "Actually, I don't. I don't
Yeah.
want to watch it."
Yeah, no.
There's you guys know the Requiem for a Dream, that movie that I used to watch all the time when I was a kid. I bought it because I found it on like a special edition DVD thing, and I bought it. And I got home and I was like, okay, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch this. And I started to watch it, and I was like, no, why did you? No, this is a horrible idea. Why would you do this?
Nope. Just like that SLC Punk movie.
Oh my god.
Richard
Yeah.
always wants to watch it when he sees it, like anytime he like pops up on anything, and I'm like, I don't want to watch it
Yeah.
because I'm
I
gonna
love
cry.
that movie, but I cry every single time. The amount of times I've had like a breakdown from that movie is crazy to me. But it was very influential when I was a kid. Very influential.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I love it, but I hate watching it.
Yeah.
And I also hate that, like, I'll think of TV shows and movies that came out and maybe only had like one season because they didn't do very well or whatever, but I loved them. And then now I can't remember what the name of it is, nor can I find it.
Yeah.
Like, there was one of them, I think it's called Salem, and it was about witches, but it was actually like scary. And it was like, I think it's called Salem, but I can't find it. Okay,
It is.
I'll have to look
it's
again.
Like back in the day, and
Yes.
Shane, what's his
And the
name?
demons
from
and
Walk to
the-
Remember is in it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then there was another one that it was like a scary TV show, and it wasn't. I think it literally had one season, and it was about like this guy had come to this house to help try to like expel a demon from it. I don't know, but it was actually scary, and it was actually pretty good. But it wasn't like scary because like I could watch it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Haunting of Hill House. Like I still
Oh,
watch
yeah,
that by
yeah.
myself, but it was still like scary. And anyway, I cannot for the life of me. I know that he was Hispanic and that he went to this house, and I think there was a well in it. I don't know, but I just remember it was really good, and now I can't, like, I think about it all the time and I can't remember the name of it or anything about it. Who was in it? Nothing. I just remember that I really liked it and I want to watch it.
See, we used to be able to do that all the time because we would all consume the same media. So I would be able to call Storm and be like, "Hey, what's the name of that one movie with the stripper vampires?" And you'd be able to tell me right away.
Yeah.
Like you knew it just instantly. And it's wild, like, how we consume media now, like binging and stuff, because I'll be telling someone like about a TV show or a movie, and they're like, that didn't happen, or like I mix them all together. So like you were saying, like Exorcist, like Grounds, Well, and I'm like picturing all of these like different movies that I've seen and TV shows and trying to put it all together. I would not be the one to be able to tell you that, because I confuse them and mix them all together all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I hate it.
My brain's just becoming smooth, I guess. That's what's happening.
It's a lot to remember.
It is.
It's a lot to remember.
Yeah. Oh, Mandy Moore.
I follow her on Instagram, and she's pregnant with her third baby, and it's a girl.
Oh my
She
gosh.
says that she has her very own big three.
Aww.
She's like your age, right?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
She was like a teenager around that same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so wild to me.
Yeah.
I always feel like it's so weird when I find out that celebrities are like my age or close to my age, where I'm like, I always thought they were so much older or like so much younger or whatever.
Yep.
And then I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah. You know who I found out the other day that is my age? Penelope from Bridgerton.
Is she really?
She's
like 12.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she's my age.
I thought she was younger than I was.
Yeah.
No. She was literally
That's
talking about it in an
crazy.
interview I saw. I was like, no, girl, no.
See, she has the type of complexion that I want. Like,
Yeah.
the pretty pale. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm like the weird, like, rat pale, you know, where it's like pink, you know?
No.
She's like the pretty pale, and then she's got that like beautiful hair. I know she's naturally blonde, but the red hair on her looks so good, and
It
that's
really
what I
does.
want.
Yeah.
That's what I want to aspire to be when I grow old.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's beautiful.
I'm seeing a lot of people that like are my age, and I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I don't look that old. I don't look that old. No.
Yeah.
It's not. No, that's not
Absolutely.
right. But then I'm like thinking back to like when I was a kid, and I see people my age now, and I'm like, oh, like they were the old people in the movie.
Mhm.
Like it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird to me. I hate aging.
Yeah, I know. They're planning our 20-year high school reunion right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you gonna go?
Like, I don't know. It's such a big class that it's so hard.
Yeah, I feel like if
Like
it was a
that.
smaller class, it would be worth it. But I feel like
Yeah.
that point,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
if you
I
were
mean,
gonna stay in touch with people, you would have stayed in touch with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah. Our
At this
class.
point, I feel like it's just, yeah.
My class was like 1,300 people. I don't know what yours was. It was probably.
I think
close
mine
to-
was 12.
Yeah.
I think mine was 12.
Yeah, and our last name at the time started with a Y, and so I was like the third from the last person.
Mhm.
It was bad. Of 1,300 people,
I think
Yeah.
you and Richard fell asleep
I almost did. I
during
was
my
very, very close.
graduation.
Oh, your graduation? Very possible. Very possible. Yeah, ours were also like in stadiums. So like when Mom talks about her graduation in like the gymnasium with like 26 people, I'm like, that's not. No.
That
don't
only
think-
happens in movies. That's not
Yeah.
real.
That's
not real.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Although
All right,
I
y'all, we are
have
20
been to
minutes
one.
in.
Just about
Are
to
we?
say, yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know how I'm going to tell y'all a story, but just bear with me because I've frozen 10 times. I don't know if you've noticed,
Oh,
but
no.
it
We'll
is
figure it
literally,
out.
like, I'm not exaggerating. It has been a lot. So, okay. I'm going to tell y'all about some people
Really?
who, these people, let me pull up my notes. They think that they're criminals. And
On this podcast? Absolutely not.
In this economy?
I'm thinking about it, honestly.
have no idea what y'all just said because you froze.
It was funny. That's all you need to know.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, so I got this from ranker.com and I was just going through, I was actually researching something else and this popped up as like a, look at this next type thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So these are 9 criminals who thought that they were actually vampires.
Wow.
That's interesting.
So, I didn't write his name down, but one people on here, it's actually a list of 11 people, but one of them was Elizabeth Bathory, and I know we're going to do, she gets her own episode. And then another one was, I can't remember his name, but we had already told his story. So here's the rest of them.
Okay.
All right. First, we have Daniel and Manuela Ruda, and some of these names are kind of hard. They believe that Satan told them to kill their friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Which is
they're from Germany.
wild to me, but that is a very 80s, early
Mm-hmm,
90s thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were self-proclaimed Satanists and vampires. They got married on the 6th day of the 6th month to signify 666, this member of the beast. Manuela, she would sometimes sleep in a coffin. She also had her teeth removed and had animal fangs implanted in place of them.
Like real animal fangs?
Yeah, that sounds really unsanitary, number one.
Yes.
So unsanitary.
Yeah.
And would your body accept those?
I don't
At
know.
a certain point, they would just fall out, I feel like.
I feel
Right,
like.
yeah.
Especially the way they're in the gums and stuff. I can.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
No.
So, okay. If y'all see me freeze, just start talking about something because otherwise it's gonna be dead silence. Okay.
Oh, well,
It's
I think you're telling the story, so I'm just gonna be quiet so I'm not talking over her telling the story.
Well, I can tell when it freezes because it just, y'all just go quiet and it just goes still. So I will stop talking so that we can stay on target here. Okay. So yeah, she does that. They start out blood drinking at places where people are volunteers, so it's consensual. They have these places they have these places in England and Scotland, and often they're in cemeteries or old buildings, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They say that Satan told them that they needed to kill their friend Frank Hagen. He was 33 years old. So
I always wonder about that stuff. Was it a written message that you got from a demon? Did he call you, or was it signs that were around him? How did he tell you? Because I need to know the specifics.
It's the little angel and devil, but you just have two devils, and that one, Frank.
Exactly.
According to Manuela, he was picked because he was so funny and would be the perfect court jester for Satan.
Oh my god.
So they invite him over. They tell him they were going to have a party. Daniel hit Frank in the head with a hammer. Then they stabbed him 66 times.
Not 666 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get tired. That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
After they killed him, they carved a pentagram on his stomach. They drank his blood, and they prayed to Satan.
Oh my god!
Manuela was really disappointed that she did not become a real vampire after what they did.
Oh my god! Are you serious?
Did they say when this was?
I think it was late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. the like vampire court stuff became very popular around that time too.
It's just crazy.
It's like taking D&D too far, kind of. That's pretty much what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So police come to their apartment several days later. They find Frank's decomposing body just near the coffin. Like, he's just laying on the ground.
What? Oh my God.
When they were sentenced, Daniel was 26 and Manuela was only 23. Sorry.
Wow.
They made a complete show of the trial. They were flashing Satanist hand signs. They were threatening witnesses. They denied all blame. They were saying they were simply Satan's instruments. They actually compared their trial to blaming a car for a vehicular collision.
What?
Right? So they're like, we're just vessels of Satan, whatever. We're doing what we were told to do.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did their lawyers say about this?
Mm-hmm.
Were they like, it's a great defense. Let's use it.
Yeah.
That's mental illness.
Literally.
All that is.
She
that would
testified.
Be a completely different trial.
That their actions were, quote, the execution of an order Satan ordered us to. We had to comply. It was not something bad. It simply had to be. We wanted to make sure that the victims suffered well.
Suffered well?
Mm-hmm.
What does that even mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's some Viking shit. Yeah, that's
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The jury disagreed with that. And in 2002, they were both.
Yeah.
Okay, their sentence really fucking sucks. In 2002, they were both sentenced to psychiatric hospitals. Daniel for 15 years, Manuela for only 13. To psychiatric hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For killing someone. Horribly.
What?
It's like Michael Myers.
Yes. Yeah. That's, I mean.
Isn't that fucked up?
Oh, that's crazy.
I feel like these are just snippets of each people's story. So obviously,
right.
That's a good one to go into more. But fucking crazy. All right. Next we have Rod Farrell, or Roderick, but he went by Rod. November 1996. He was 16 years old. He used a tire iron to kill Richard and Naomi Windorf, who were the parents of a friend of his, Heather. He was the ringleader of a teenage vampire cult.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
How do you even do that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even thought about that. I mean, like, I would have thought about being a vampire as a teenager, but not like, I'm orchestrating a cult and we are going to kill some. Like, I could never. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
I feel like these are like the mermaid kids that like we obviously were, but they like took it way too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so so before that he becomes friends with Heather. So he killed her parents. So he becomes friends with Heather when they both were in high school in Florida. The next year he moves to Kentucky. He keeps in contact with Heather. He starts getting members for his vampire cult. He and his friend Howard Scott were charged with cruelty to animals after they broke into an animal shelter. This is really bad. They tormented and beat more than 40 dogs, and they killed 2
Oh my God.
in what looked like a satanic ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Rod and other members of the cult hung out at a place that they called the Vampire Hotel, drinking each other's blood. He became obsessed with playing the game Vampire the Masquerade.
Mm-hmm. It's
And he
D&D for vampires.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he claimed to be a 500-year-old vampire named Visago. I think that's how you say it. Probably not. But. So he drives from Kentucky to Florida with Howard Scott and two other girls. Heather was planning to run away from home with him and the rest of the vampire cult, but she didn't know that Rod was already planning to kill her parents. Like, he already was going to do it. He had made up his mind.
Yeah.
They break into the home, and hold on. Okay, yeah. It doesn't like fully tell what they did. It just says they killed him. Okay. After that, five teenagers, they go on the run, they get caught. In 1998, Rod was sentenced to capital punishment. He was actually the youngest person on death row for 2 years.
Damn.
They ended up changing his sentence to life without possibility of parole. And he did an interview with Investigation Discovery, and he said, "I was in a maelstrom of my own madness." Since then, he's been diagnosed with schizotypal personality disorder. And just in case you want to check it out, the 2002 movie Vampire Clan, I've never heard of it, was based on this story.
I feel like I've heard of that.
So go watch it and tell me about it.
There's been a lot of those Gypsy Rose type situations, but they've all been like vampires and so like satanic cults and stuff. And it's kids that get too far into it. And I think that's what, like, when D&D in the 70s was like, it was demonic and shit like that. Like, I feel like that's what parents were talking about, was like, my kids are getting way too into this, like something is going to happen.
Oh, okay.
That looks like a movie you would have watched.
Right. Yeah. What's it on?
This says Prime. It says it's a Prime Video.
Okay. Might have to check that out.
Let's see what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. Richard Trenton Chase. He was called the Vampire of Sacramento. He is known for, it did sound familiar to me, known for killing 6 people in 1977. His whole life was, affected by mental illness. He chronically used alcohol and drugs. A psychiatrist that he met with believed that he suffered from hypochondria. He also believed that killing animals and drinking their blood would stop his heart from shrinking.
Wow.
So, remember how I told you last episode that after listening to a podcast about this guy that used to kill people that thought he was a vampire? This is him.
Oh, it is?
Damn.
Yes.
Oh, so this is just a little snippet. Again, we can, go on. Okay.
These are all
weird. Yeah. He also believed that he was being secretly poisoned by the soap in his bathroom, which was turning his blood to powder. And because of this, he says he needed fresh blood to replace what he was losing. He killed a bunch of neighborhood pets, including his mother's cat, and he would bite off the heads of birds. 1976, he actually tried to inject rabbit blood directly into his body, which put him in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then that led to him being put in mental institution, and he was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic. After he was released from the institution into his mother's care, he should never have been released. Let's just say that. He was done with the animals. He was looking for something bigger. He started going into homes but he would not go into a locked house because he was a vampire.
Mm.
Apparently,
That's not
vampires
how
don't
that
do
works. That
that. Yeah.
they have to be invited into somewhere. That's not also not how that works. But
Well,
yeah.
he thought that, because remember I told you how to go around and lock all my windows?
Yeah.
He would check people's windows, and he thought if the windows are open, then that means that he was invited into their house.
Oh my god.
That it was okay that he would come into their house.
Mm-mm.
January 23rd, 1978, he picks Teresa Wallen. She was pregnant. He killed her, and he assaulted and mutilated her body. He ate parts of her flesh and used a yogurt container as a cup to drink her blood.
Oh my god.
4 days later, he finds he kills 4 people in one day, 2 adults and 2 young children. Let's see. Police found human body parts, including brains, in his refrigerator. He also had a calendar that said he had a calendar.
We talked about. Why are we talking about braids so much on this
podcast?
Exactly.
He has a calendar that said today on the dates that he killed his victims, and that word was written on 44 more days than the ones that they knew.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. He was actually sentenced to receive capital punishment, but he ended his own life before anything could be done. And the 1987 movie Rampage so the movie Rampage was loosely based on his own life. On his life. Rampage. Go watch it.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
That was horrific. I hated that one.
Yeah. Gross. Thanks.
Now I'm gonna be extra afraid. I gotta lock all my windows again.
I always thought the vampire ones were always like the teenagers that were like I love this girl and I'm gonna kill her parents, like that kind of thing. I don't know. That's what I've always thought.
Was like genuinely sad that like he genuinely had a lot. I mean, it's not sad that he murdered people,
right?
I mean, it's sad that people died, but
yeah,
like he really had a lot of mental illness.
Yeah.
And I feel like to be able to say that you are a vampire, like you have to have something going on. It's like Richard Ramirez with the devil stuff. Like
yeah.
At a certain point, it's just kind of that's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have Tracy Wigginton. I don't know. She's known as the lesbian vampire killer.
Ooh, I love how you said that. The lesbian vampire.
Oh man. Okay. She told a jury that she did not live on food, but on the blood of pigs and cows.
Ew.
Her lover, Lisa, said that she cut her own wrist so that Tracy could drink her blood. So October 20th, 1989, Tracy decided that she was going to kill someone to satisfy her need for blood. She was 25 years old when she did this. Her and her lover, Lisa, along with 2 other women, they were driving around and they were going to find somebody. So they find 47-year-old Edward Baldock, and he was walking home and he was like drunk. They get him to come in the car, and they took him to a nearby park near the river. They said they promised him sexual favors, but instead, Tracy stabbed him 27 times.
I guess it was like a Aileen Wuornos situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
Afterwards, she drank his blood, and they left his body in the park to be found in the morning. It wasn't very hard to catch her because she left her bank card, her ATM card, right next to him.
What a
Oh my
literal
God.
moron.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot. She pleaded guilty, and her lover, Tracy, no, that's not her name, Lisa, they were given life sentences. January 11th, 2012, Tracy was paroled. She can't contact the victim's family or the other women that were involved. She is a free woman.
There has to be like so many crazy stipulations for that.
But wait,
Yeah.
Lisa or Tracy was paroled?
Tracy.
What?
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
She was paroled.
That's nutso pants.
Yeah, so she can't contact the victim's family or the women involved, and she's not allowed to profit from her story. So, like, she can't do like a memoir. She can't
Right.
make money off of it. So,
Good.
sucks to be
Good.
her. Yeah.
Jeez. I feel like that should be like kind of a rule for anything in that type of realm. Like,
Well, I
you
think they
can't make
did.
money off of this.
No.
I think they did. I think there's stipulations to some of it because remember it was like Dahmer and Gacy and the Night Stalker had ended up selling their story to news outlets and stuff and were like made a lot of money. And I think it was like whatever money they made had to go to like the victim's family or something or other. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
That
if it's a
makes sense.
rule or if it was specifically just for those people,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's like a thing.
I always think of like the murderabilia type stuff, like those type people. Like, you shouldn't be able to make money off of this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Agreed. Okay. Matthew Hardman was from North Wales. To his friends, he was pretty normal, just a chill guy, quiet. He was 17 years old. He ended up killing his 90-year-old neighbor, Mabel.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
In
sweetest
November-
name, too.
Yeah.
I know. In November of 2001, he went to her house while she was watching TV, and he stabbed her 22 times.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
After he did that, he carved out her heart and wrapped it in newspaper. He drained her blood into a kitchen saucepan and then drank it.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. He also placed candles and a makeshift crucifix at her feet. And before this, he had obviously become obsessed with vampires, and he did believe that drinking blood would make him immortal.
It's also not the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. He was
No.
convinced that this German exchange student that he knew was a vampire, and he's apparently begged her to turn him into it.
Mm.
He was arrested and
I don't. Mm-hmm.
in 2002 and was sentenced to life in jail.
Jeez.
Ooh, good.
Yeah.
All right. We have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more.
Okay.
These people are fucking crazy.
I
And
was about to say, I don't think my brain can handle it anymore.
so Alan Menzies from Scotland in 2003, he killed his best friend, drank some of his blood, and ate a piece of his skull.
His skull?
What?
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 I don't know how. I don't know
Or
how.
why?
You know?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. He said the vampire, and I know y'all know this maybe. He said the vampire Akasha from Queen of the Damned. We all know that movie with the
Shut
lead.
up.
Oh my god.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
said that she told him that if he wanted to become a vampire and live forever, that he had to do this.
Oh my
What?
god.
So Alan knew his victim. His name was Thomas, since they were 4 years old.
Oh my
Holy
god.
He had become obsessed with the Queen of the Damned movie, which was based on the book by Anne Rice. He had seen it apparently more than 100 times. And he said that Akasha, again, he's talking about her. He said, quote, I basically agreed with her that if I killed people, I would be rewarded in the next life.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So on the day that he killed his friend, he said that his friend said something. He was basically talking shit about the Queen of the Damned movie. And apparently this just made him go into a full-on rage. And he hit him with a hammer at least 10 times. And then he stabbed him 42 times.
God.
With 2 different knives.
Oh my god.
These are all overkill. Like, they are way, like, crazy.
So after he killed him, he drank his blood, of course. And that's when he ate part of his skull. Several weeks later, he was found in a shallow grave that Alan had dug for him. He was arrested, tried to plead insanity. 2 different psychiatrists said that he was not suffering from mental illness when he killed his friend, and that he should receive a life sentence, which he did. 2004, he ended up killing himself in the prison that he was in Scotland.
That's so crazy.
That's, ugh. That would make me really sad for some reason. It was just like the whole thing was just really sad.
Yeah.
I know. This one, I don't know how to say this name. I have no idea. He looks really weird too, so we'll post a picture. But Caius Theobis, I don't know.
Beelzebub?
Pretty much. He's got a face full of piercings, tattoos, and he has horn implants.
I know exactly who this is.
So apparently his given name is Roy Gutfinski Jr., but he legally changed his name in 2008 supposedly after a vampire in the Twilight books. But he denies this. He says that that's not true. But
So wait, what's his
cares?
name?
Caius, Caius. It doesn't sound like any.
I'm trying to think of what word, because it's got to be the Volturi. It's the Volturi.
Yes, it has to be.
But I can't remember their names.
So he has. I know.
Millennials.
That's
okay. Very long history of just being a violent person, and he was very involved in Satanism. In 1999, he and former girlfriend cut another girl who was 16 years old, and they drank her blood.
Mm-mm.
And he swears up and down that he's a vampire. And also, 2001, himself, along with 2 other people, they kidnapped 3 Hell's Angels
God
and
damn.
then killed them. Yeah,
This
and then
is
Oh my
killed them.
God.
No.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the Hell's Angels was about to give testimony against one of his friends. They dismembered the bodies, and they were found in Massachusetts. They were found guilty on numerous counts and sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without parole.
Jeez. That's
Good.
bonkers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that I said that we already did was Fritz Harman.
I remember him.
I don't know if
That
you
was like
remember.
an old one,
Yeah.
right? Like it
Yeah.
was a long
Yeah,
time
old
ago.
one in like the
Mhm.
1918.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Marcelo Costa de Andre something.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yes.
You said that beautifully.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Is very famous in Brazil, and he's called the Vampire of Netori.
Mm.
He targeted young boys.
Mm.
Their ages would range from 6 to 13.
Ugh, I hate him.
He killed at least 14.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. He grew up very poor. He was sexually and physically abused. Sorry, it just tried to refresh and lost my spot. Okay.
Unfortunately, I feel like that's pretty commonplace with most of these stories.
Mm-hmm.
There was some kind of
By the
like
time-
severe abuse.
Something, yeah. By the time he was 14, he was selling himself on the streets.
Oh my God.
I know. 1991, he was 24, and this is when he started. He would just, get the attention of these young boys, and he would lure them away, and he would strangle them or beat them to death. He also would abuse their corpses.
Oh my God.
Sexually abuse them. I'm sure you got that, but yeah. And drink their blood. He said that he drank their blood because he said he wanted to be as beautiful as them. He suffered from religious mania. And he said that he killed the boys so they would go to heaven.
What?
Mm-hmm. He was caught after one of his potential victims escaped. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity and was committed to a psychiatric hospital. In 1997, he escaped, but was returned several days later.
Jeez.
People are still escaping from mental hospitals. I thought we were past this.
And it's not even just like a regular mental hospital. Like this is like
high security.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even like the little one that we have visited before, it's like crazy security. So I can only imagine those like huge ones. I don't know. That's wild.
All right, last one. Joshua Rudiger is also known as the Vampire Slasher. 1998, he killed a homeless woman, and also he injured 3 homeless men with a knife. He said that he was a 2,600-year-old vampire and that he needed to drink their blood. He was only 22 at the time. His lawyer said that he had exhibited the worst case of mental illness that he had ever seen.
Mhm.
He also claimed that he was a samurai who was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
Mhm.
He ended up killing 48-year-old Shirley. He stabbed her with his knife while she was sleeping in a doorway. He later said that he didn't intend to kill her. He just wanted to make a small cut to drink her blood.
Mhm.
He was sentenced to 23 years to life.
God. That is horrible. That was
Mental
horrific.
illness.
Sorry. Those are
Crazy.
people who thought they were vampires. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's really the mental illness of it all. Like, these people can't get
It's
help.
sad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Oh.
also sad too, like what they had to go through to get to that point.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them have
Yeah.
backstories that we don't know about, and like that one with his issues, like it's just sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
I hated all of that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel like every time I get on here, I'm like, I hate that, but yes, you're right.
I enjoyed it, but I also hated it. Thank you.
Yep. So there you
Oh,
go.
that's hard. That was good.
It was good.
Thanks. I hope it
I've been
sounds
thinking
okay.
about
It's
vampires a lot more recently.
Yeah, I literally was just, I would stop talking when it would freeze and just hope
Yeah.
Neil said something.
I think we got it. Normally it kind of works itself out, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's
Yeah.
going to be like, this is really weird. And we're like,
Yeah.
you know what? You're really weird. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Still
if
okay.
Rainey comes into the shop and tells me, like, okay, like something,
Yeah.
have you listened to that episode? Then I know that something's going on.
Jeez.
You should be like, if she does, you should be like, yes, wasn't it so good? That's the best one we put out. Yeah.
You're like, best one yet.
So good. So good. Oh my god.
Or you should just like
funny.
immediately start crying.
Exactly. Yeah, just fall on the floor. Why would you
I
bring that
can't
up?
take your criticism any longer.
She's the only
Oh,
one that ever
man.
actually does, which is good.
It is. Somebody
Yeah.
needs
Yeah.
to.
Someone needs to tell us.
Yes.
We're all so delusional that we're so pretty and funny that someone has to tell us that we're fucking up.
Yeah. Like, come on, y'all.
All right. Well,
That's funny.
Storm, if they want to find more of us, where can they find us?
Our beautiful and pretty selves. Or
Exactly.
our funny.
Our hilarious selves. Yeah.
We are on Facebook, Three Siblings Walk Into a Bar. We are on Instagram. I can't speak. We're on Instagram at Three Swib Podcast. Please go on there, like, comment, do all the things. Also, please rate and review. It's super, super helpful for us.
Mhm.
YouTube, go watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
Mhm.
And yeah.
And send us requests too. I've had a couple people send me private messages about stories they want to hear. So
Yeah.
if you guys
Mhm.
have any stories that you want to hear, let us know. We can definitely do those.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's what happens when three siblings walk into a bar.